Hello and welcome to another Bushwhacker review. Today we are going to be taking a look at NASCAR Authentics Wave 3 for 2018. Honestly, a pretty solid wave. You've got a DNP car, you got some good 2018 primary choices. You really don't have that many, repeats or whatever, so it's honestly a pretty solid wave. A couple cars are a little bit of a weird choice, but we'll get to that later. There's really no new stuff on the packaging or anything to talk about, so why don't we just hop right into it and get to the most disappointing car of this whole wave. Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s fifth third bank car for Roush Fenway Racing. It's just a weird choice on many levels. We literally just got this from the Talladega win, and that one looks 20 times better, so this one looks really poor, actually. Do I actually have that around here? Because this car just, there it is. This car just looks, faded out. Hope that's coming across on camera, but, the fifth third bank Talladega win has, a nice, deep, good-looking blue, a nice light, almost petty blue, and then this one just has, mustard yellow, a weird, washed out dark blue. It just looks bad. It's how do we take this car and suck out all of the color from it? And they somehow did that. Look at all that, marks and stuff on the side, too. Lionel quality control at its finest. Big mark on the kind of wheel well. Chip on the side of the spoiler. Like I said, this just looks bad. I'm sure some Stenhouse fans like this paint scheme, but, everything else would have been a better choice. Give us his new Fastenal car, his primary paint scheme. That is a new paint scheme this year. That would have been better. Give us, the little Hugs car. Give us the Sunny D car again if you're going to give us something again. The Sunny D car is one of his best-looking cars. This is one of his, strangest-looking cars, and I don't know how they screwed the color up so badly. Hopefully the 124 isn't this bad. I mean, I'm not going to get the 124, but hopefully it's not this bad for the Stenhouse fans, because this just looks really off. It's like they just sucked out all the color and left it in the sun too long. Definitely the most disappointing car from this entire wave. Next up, we have another kind of strange choice, and that is Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s Gray Ghost from Martinsville last year. If you remember, Dale Jr. had a fan vote to run one of his older nationwide paint schemes from the past few years at Martinsville for one of Nationwide's last races of Dale Jr.'s career. And the Gray Ghost won. I voted for the Gray Ghost. I was hoping this won. A lot of people were voting for that 2015 patriotic nationwide car that he won at the July Daytona, but why would we have a random patriotic car around Halloween? That just makes no sense. This one at least has Gray Ghost. It was right around Halloween. That one, I don't know, I could consider this a Halloween paint scheme. I've always loved the Gray Ghost, but this diecast is kind of disappointing. I don't understand the color they used. It is still metallic, but it's the 2016 one, the Darlington Throwback one, had such a nice metallic silver, and then this one's how do we make it metallic with making it not look metallic at all? In the store and everything, when you see in the packaging, you can't even tell it's metallic. It just looks like a weird, standard silver gray color. It just does not look good. I don't know what the hell they did to it. Maybe this is more accurate, I don't know. But the other one looks so much better. I bought the 2016 diecast in 124 scale, and I love that thing. And this one's just I saw this in person, I was I don't want that at all. The choice makes sense to put in the NASCAR Authentics wave, or the line, they're just going to keep milking out all the Dale Jr. cars. I'm sure we're going to get his final ride raced version. I'm sure we'll get the Talladega raced version. Hopefully we don't get that nationwide Chevy trunk month car, but they'll probably release it. It was funny how Lionel was actually excited for that Chevy truck month car. It was just they were ooh, what's this? Ooh, new Dale Jr. paint scheme? Ooh, we need to I'll offer that immediately. It's oh, wow. Oh. It's it's just a different quarter panel logo, but okay. And I'm sure Dale Jr. fans scooped it up because, they need everything that's slightly different, but whatever. Choice makes sense. Like I said, I'm just disappointed in the color silver they used for this car. But anyways, let's get into the actually kind of interesting stuff from this wave. First up, we've got William Byron's Liberty University Chevy Camaro, his 2018 kind of primary, secondary. I don't know which technically has more races, this or Exalta, but I reviewed the 124 scale of this diecast because I actually love the weird dark metallic blue color they have that's in the paint. You can really see the kind of outline pretty well in this car, or the LU outline behind Liberty University. I don't know if that's coming across on camera, but it's almost like a brown color around the Liberty logo in person. It's still kind of strange that they just kind of refused to give us an updated version of this car that changed a lot of it, but whatever. It's it's not bad, but this paint scheme is still a little bit unfinished in this kind of state it's in, especially with the black side skirt. If that was white, that would make it a lot better, but whatever. Also, the Chevy Camaros, the wheels still dangle pretty far down there, as you can see when it's not on the ground. I don't know what they're doing with that, but that just does not look good at all. I can see some of the blue sparkles too, but it happens like to the front too. Like, what are they doing with the axles of these things? But whatever. But those are probably the ones that will probably be the least popular out of this wave right there. We move those apart, and then these will probably be the more popular ones. So next up, we've got Jamie McMurray Gearwrench Chevrolet Camaro from Chip Ganassi Racing. I know I said Jamie McMurray Chevy Camaro, not Jamie McMurray's Chevy Camaro, but whatever. Not really a bad paint scheme. Matte black with kind of a matte orange. It's funny how this got made with the McDonald's car DNP'd for him, but whatever. This definitely does work pretty well with the Camaro body. Gearwrench had like a black, yellow, and red paint scheme last year, and then they went to orange this year, but I definitely like this paint scheme better. I wish they would have used a little bit of a different orange. This orange just kind of looks washed out and like light colored. If this was like a more darker, deep orange, maybe like the orange like the Auto Trader cars use or something, I think it would have looked much better, but still not a bad paint scheme. It's cool to see a fully matte Camaro like this. I believe he just raced this a few weeks ago at like Pocono or something, but said Jay McMurray's always been confusing because he has McDonald's, he has Cessna, he has this, he has Credit One, he has like, or he has DC Solar, I think, a couple races this year. Just like he bounces around sponsors a lot. It's hard to keep track of him, but hopefully we get the McDonald's car one way or another. I think they are making Larson's McDonald's car because it is kind of a neat paint scheme this year. Can't even say neat correctly. But anyways, not a bad paint scheme. Next up, we have another 2017 car, and that is Kyle Busch's Snickers Rowdy car from Kentucky last year. Definitely a cool choice to pick in the NASCAR Authentics line. I love when they give us kind of special secondary cars like this. This is the kind of stuff that people actually want to pick up. Like, oh, it's that one-off Kyle Busch Snickers car. That's kind of cool. How many people want to pick up the Gray Ghost again, or, you know, Stenhouse's weird the third bank car again? This is definitely one of those cars a lot of people will be picking up because it's just a cool car. I mean, a lot of people hate Kyle Busch, but just a nice car. You know, the dark Snickers brown, the bright white, the red, the blue. Just, it's pretty solid for a kind of primary Snickers car that isn't any specific flavor. I reviewed the 1/24 scale of this diecast, so you can take a look at that video. And yes, you can find the Hankry bar and the Rowdy bar in stores, so you can have that and display it with the car. That's what I did. I believe Kyle Busch has Snickers at Kentucky again this year, but we haven't seen what it looks like yet. Hopefully it's something new. I mean, odds are it'll probably be the almond car again or this car again, but hopefully we get something new. This weekend at Chicagoland, he has a Skittles red, white, and blue car that we haven't seen as recording this video. Odds are it's the same as the Talladega car from last year, but have to see if maybe we do have a good new Skittles paint scheme, but I don't know. Definitely a solid choice. Next up, we have another 2018 primary. We've got Eric Almirola's Smithfield Ford Fusion for Stewart-Haas Racing. You gotta focus in on that Smithfield! But anyways, definitely an interesting paint scheme this year for Eric Almirola, because if you didn't know, Smithfield's colors are black and white. It never had anything to do with petty blue. Some people literally thought like the colors were petty blue. If you remember back when they first changed to petty, it was a black and white car with a little petty blue sprinkled in, and then they did a full petty blue car, but it had a black and white stripe around the bottom. Black and white has always been their colors, with that kind of nice metallic gold as highlights. It's honestly been one complaint with this car is I wish that metallic gold they use in the numbers was actually a little bit more, maybe a little bit around the spikes or something, just kind of integrate it into the paint scheme just a little bit more. This definitely looks nice, just the black and white paint scheme, the kind of spikes, the gold. Not bad at all. I really hope he wins this year just to stick it to Danica fans, because I really hate how Danica fans are like, but she was an inspiration, she's not bad. It's like, yes she is. She was terrible in NASCAR. And Eric Almirola is already blowing her out of the water. He's already been running up front more races. He's going to make the playoffs. Like, he's already 20 times better than Danica ever was, but whatever. Hopefully he wins this year and really just sticks to the Danica fans. Because half the Danica fans are like, she's not bad, it's just the cars suck. It's the worst Stewart-Haas car, it just sucks. It's like, no, it really doesn't. Kevin Harvick is just better than everyone else. But oh well. This car also did slightly change. They had more black around this bottom piece right here later in the year, but I doubt we'll get a diecast that unless he wins. Not a bad choice at all. Next up, we have the DNP car from the wave, and that is Ty Majeski's Bit of Honey Roush Fenway Racing Machine from Iowa last year. Basically the same paint scheme that Chris Buescher had a couple years ago. We will actually be reviewing the Chris Buescher Bit of Honey diecast soon on this channel, but just a really, really awesome paint scheme. The bright red, the bright yellow. You see it's got honeycomb pattern. You see the design is actually like the logo. You see how the logo kind of curves on the front there, and then you see on the back where the logo actually does like curve around the back fender like that. Nice car. Bit-O-Honey's honestly kind of been a weird sponsor. They like sponsored Chris Buescher a couple races in 2015, then sponsored nobody in 2016, then popped back to sponsor time Majeski in 2017. They haven't sponsored anyone this year in 2018 yet, but hopefully they do. Definitely sad to see this diecast get DNP'd, but, you know, a lot of the Roush cars get DNP'd, but Bit-O-Honey is something that I would always buy. I'd buy multiples of if they make it every year, because it's just a cool-looking car. Just bright, colorful. I love candy cars. Just cool all around. This will probably be the most popular car from this entire wave right here. And last but not least, we've got Ryan Blaney's Menards 12 car. Another very popular paint scheme from this year, which David Land reviewed this car and he wasn't sure where it ran, and this never really did run like this. Like I said in my 124 scale review, the only time it ran with a red 12 white Menards was at Daytona during Speed Weeks, but that had Peak on the hood. And both times it had Duracell on the hood, which was Dover and Pocono, it had a white number 12. So it technically never ran like this diecast, but at least still sort of ran with this configuration. But I just love this car so much that I really can't complain too much about it. Because it doesn't really, it's not one of those cars that's like inaccurate and looks inaccurate. You look at it, it's like, what the hell's wrong with that car? Like, it still did run like this, just with a different sponsor. Which, I really still want to know who's doing that this year. Is Penske making the change? Is Blaney making the change? Is Paul Menard making the change? Is Menards themselves making the change? Like, who keeps changing off the colors and the numbers and all that stuff? There's been a couple cars here with colored hoods. Like, they can't seem to make up their mind. I'm not sure why. But definitely a cool paint scheme. Definitely one of the most popular, anticipated primary paint schemes of 2018. 99% of people seem to like it. There's that 1% of people that's like, oh, it's just neon, it's ugly, it's awful. But most people seem to like it. Hell, I love it. Here it is next to the 164 scale of the Simon Pagenaud IndyCar, if you want to see how those stack together. I'm really not too impressed with the 164 scale Simon Pagenaud's car. It's like not Menards yellow enough. It's like weirdly like washed out Menards yellow. Like, I don't know if that's coming across on camera, but in person, when it's compared to the Ryan Blaney car, it just looks off. Like, the Ryan Blaney car looks like Menards yellow is supposed to, then the Simon Pagenaud's Indy car just looks like it's like a washed out, lighter version of Menards yellow. I'm sure that's just because they had to paint it over the 164 scale IndyCar body, or maybe it's like, their paint's just not very good, because it looks fine on the 118 scale. It's only the 164 scale looks a little weird, but whatever. But anyways, let's get the rest of these cars back in here. So not a terrible wave. Pretty solid wave. Has some cool choices. Like I said, I could do without that one. And maybe the Gray Ghost. And then you could just have these 6 cars or something. I don't know. But those 2 are probably the least popular whole wave. I mean, I've confirmed that this is definitely the least popular one, just because a couple stores when I first found this wave had like 6 Dale Jr. Gray Ghosts and nothing else in the pegs. Like I said, I'm pretty sure the Bit-O-Honey car, the Menards, and the Snickers car seem to be the hardest to get. You might have to look a little harder for those ones, but I haven't really had any trouble finding the Gearwrench or the Smithfield or the Liberty University. But like I said, definitely not a bad wave. It only goes up from here. Wave 4 and 5 they've already revealed, and they look fantastic. Can't wait to find those. Those have a bunch of great choices in them. But anyways, I think that's pretty much all there's to say. This has been our review of NASCAR Authentics Wave 3 for 2018. Thank you for watching, and of course, focus in on that Smithfield!